Hello. So we're going to show you one last component of the ISAcreator to create a new study. And this has been developed to address one of the use cases that we had, which was, okay, I've got legacy data hanging around in a spreadsheet and I would like to convert them to ISA syntax information. So we have developed a mapping tool, which is available from under the menu Create New Study, and select the map from existing file. So the first thing to do, again, we've got a similar layout with a progress bar. We can select the file that we would like to import. So in this example that we're going to use, it's a metagenomic dataset, which comes in a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. The important thing to remember is that the spreadsheet header should be only one line. So there is possibly some pre-processing to be performed before in order to be compatible with the tool at the moment. Interestingly, we have the ability to reuse the mapping, and the mapping will be saved. So if you have a number of spreadsheets which are similarly formatted, the same mapping could be used more than once and extract information more rapidly. The next step is to select the different assays used in your study. Could be more than one. In this example, I've got only one. It's an variable gene survey using nucleotide sequencing. I add an assay, but you could add as many as needed, and the tool will loop over and in order to slice through the incoming spreadsheet and extract the relevant information and place it into the relevant ISA spreadsheet. So now the tool is parsing this Excel spreadsheet. This one is fairly large, and we have loaded the tool with the default configuration. So at the moment we only have these 4 fields. So quick overview of the layout of the tool. Here we've got the ISA field corresponding to the studied sample table. They are listed here, 4 of them. Here we've got a number of components that we can add. Again, these are ISA syntactic elements, so we can add factors, protocol ref, parameter, comment, material. Then the center of the screen is busy with these elements which actually contain the different headers of the incoming spreadsheet, as you can see here. You can specify whether the element that you will be mapping to is of type data column or literal. So let's start. We'd want to identify the source of the material in this incoming spreadsheet. We can use this magnifying glass button to activate this widget here. This widget has 2 parts: the list of all the fields found in the file, and then this upper part here shows the actually first 4 records, so that you can have a quick lookup at the data. So we can detect the sample ID column, and we just select it here. So we know that this is mapped like this. Then we could add a characteristic field. We need to provide taxonomic information, which is cast under organism information. And here, because there is nothing that is specifying what it is in the incoming file, the MyMarks recommendation is to select metagenome, which is accepted by the ENA and SRA repository. We would like now to add a characteristic, lat, longitude and latitude. Here, and now we can look up in the incoming file list if there is anything that matches latitude. And in fact, there is here the field latitude and longitude. It has values, just select it, and it's now mapped. We can quickly review the current mapping by clicking the next button, and we have this kind of information available at the moment. And I can see there is a mistake, so we can go back and fix it if necessary. Here we select the sample ID and review the mapping again. and review the mapping again. There we are. So let's assume we are happy with this, and we can progress now to extract the field corresponding to the SS section. So this is the ISATab. These are the ISATab fields required or necessary to describe an environmental gene survey assay using high-throughput sequencing. So we need to make sure that we capture all this information. These are MyMark's requirements for such an assay. And the thing is, by default, of course, this first field is hooked up to this element here, and we now can look for information if there is anything like this about the taxon information. So just by typing target, we see that there is field for target gene, but not necessarily for the target taxon. So let's go for the target gene instead. Here, target gene, we can select the next one. So fragment, and so forth. Also, possibly select the files. And this will use the sample ID plus a mapping element. We know in this instance that it's coming from SFF. So it will be a sequence flow file, so we can map it like this. So basically you've got the gist of the tool. And we can review this information here, again, just like we did before. And if we are happy with this mapping, we can proceed, save the mapping, by providing just a initial mapping file. Let's save it under the tutorial material folder. Here, set first mapping. Saved, click the Save Mapping button, saved, and then proceed. And there we are. We've imported information. These are the sample. We recognize the latitude, longitude, the default organism for the sample section, and then for the information about the target gene, we have this information. This is it for the mapping.